Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Breath of Fire Wednesdays. Breath Master Aaron here, your global community elder, bringing you the breath, live and up close and personal. Getting our breathe on, y'all. For those of you who have been doing this with me for a bit, you should be adept at the breath. Challenge yourself. Set yourself a pace and start slow, pick up the pace, and then slow it down and just play with it. Create a rhythm, an ebb and a flow, if you will. Fast, slow. And then set yourself an amount of actually a number of breath of fire breaths. So I taught you how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or, okay? So set yourself an amount. Try to go for 360 breaths at a time, minimum. You can start at, 100, 200, but you can do it 100 or two and within a minute or so. So set yourself an amount to build stamina. So increase your capacity to work these ab muscles, to get that energy flowing, and to really ignite the breath. So let's do 360. I'm going to go slow, and I'm going to pick up the pace, and then I'm going to slow it down. We're just going to do an ebb and a flow with. So if you're in a space where you can do this, flow with me, okay? I'm going to do the count. I'm going to emphasize every 10th breath. So, and then a finger will go up, okay? So here we go. Start with the breath master technique first, as we're going to do, and then we're going to end with the breath master technique as far as curling the tongue back on the beginning with the inhalation and exhaling with the at the end. So tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, curl it back and inhale. Lungs 2/3 to 3/4 way full, breath of fire. Picking up the pace. 40. 210. 300. Let's end strong. And hold. Curl the tongue back. Do not exhale. Do not inhale. And draw in the abdomen. Squeeze the abdomen. You can do that too. I got faith in you. Oh, Sister Tamer, peace, sis. How you doing? Good to see you on the breath share. So here we're gonna do a little tutelage. Remember, hands out to the side, elbows close to the body, and we're gonna feeling the breath, working the abdominals. As if we're blowing our nose without trying to express any phlegm. We just want the breath. We want to feel the breath with our hands. Inhale a little extra and exhale a little extra. Now, when we're doing this with the depth, we actually can squeeze the muscles of our perianal array, i.e. those muscles that we use to stop the flow of urine or to hold back the flow of urine so we don't wet ourselves if we're not in a space where we can't go to the bathroom. And this is also the muscle that we use for men to lock and hold before we ejaculate. So this helps with developing that muscle control for holdbacks and eventually ejaculation. That's an advanced scenario that those of us who work with that whole tantric vibe, kundalini flow, and just being able to hold back that ejaculation and use that seminal fluid to nourish our bodies. And we're not trying to create a new life. Notice this is kind of a two-stage exhalation. Okay, we're going to relax and go back to the regular exhalation. Not controlling the muscles of the perianal array. We're just going to work with the abdominal muscles. Again, feeling the breath as it hits the palms of our hands. There's so many ways that we can use the nuances of exhalation and the breath and the abdominal muscles, those internal muscles, for different types of energetic flows that kundalini spiral up the spine, also that microcosmic orbit circling up the energy up the spine and down the front, up the governing vessel, stimulating all of the chakras, all the way from the root chakra all the way up to the crown, and all the way down the conception vessel, down the front of the body, down through the digestive and reproductive organs, as well as activating and deactivating the vagus nerve. And the conception vessel and the governing vessel actually meet up between the genitals and the rectum, that area right between, known as the $1 million point for men, and the taint for women, because it taints the vagina and it taints the rectum. They meet up in the oral cavity. At the top of the oral cavity is where the governing vessel begins from here and goes back to that point in between the genital and the rectum. And the conception vessel begins right at the bottom of the lip, and the cleft above the lip is where the governing vessel begins, and the cleft below the lip is where the conception vessel begins. And they meet again right at that point in between the genitals and the anus. So as we're doing this work, we're cultivating a lot of energy in this process. And if you want to get more information and knowledge and awareness on that, you should sign up for my Breath Master certification, which is done online, 3 different levels. And for women, you can go look up the womb sauna, Sister Tamer, in the womb University. I think it's Womb Sauna University or Womb University. I don't want to get it wrong, so double check. Womb Sauna, Sister Tamer on Instagram, Facebook. You can get at her, and she will give you information on how to use the breath along with the womb sauna treatment, i.e., the vaginal steam, to intensify and to work with the energy of creation. So that's something that women really need to do. So I strongly suggest you look that sister up and get that work in. So Breath Master Aaron Modley here. I'm going to sign off. I think has it been okay? Well, right at the 2:15 mark, since I got on a little late, I'm going to go ahead and go out with a little bit of breath. So everyone flow with me. And if you want to get this abdominal thing that I do with the movement from side to side, all you got to do is, after you've been exercising for a while and getting the abdominal muscles awakened, fully exhale, extend the breath, and hold it. You can even lean forward to squeeze out a little more and tighten the abdominal muscles a little more. Then when you straighten up, you want to draw the abdomen in. And that's as if you're inhaling, but you're holding, you're not inhaling, and you're lifting the chest. That's going to create a vacuum that's going to pull all of those organs in and the diaphragm up so that the actual abdominal cavity just caves in. And then once you have it, once it's caved in, you just maintain that and you actually squeeze the abdominal muscles and it will project the muscles themselves forward. Everything else will stay in place. You will maintain this indentation on the sides, but the muscles will project themselves down the front. Quick demonstration. Just a little fun. That right there will make sure you will never be constipated. Energetically as well as physically, you want to end constipation, and breath work will do that for you. So I thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday. Peace, and definitely, if you can, sign up for the certification, and I look forward to sharing more with you guys and having others on board who can also share this knowledge and information with our community, because it is definitely needed. We got too much anxiety, frustration, aggravation, anger, and all of these things that can simply be ended with the breath. Depression, panic attacks, all of these things can be ended with breath work. And once you take care of that, there's so much you can do that you can build. Once you level the playing field as far as getting rid of a lot of the tension and stress in your body, in your life, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your emotions, you have nothing but power to build. The breath is a massive power tool that can transform your life, your family, your community, and everybody around you. Even the sound of the breath. When you're doing breath work, folks hear it and it takes them back to the womb, as I've said before, and it gives them the opportunity to return to that most divine space energetically, to free up a lot of what's going on in their life. So definitely sign up for the breath.